2 sit-down videos in a row. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa Jo. If you are new here and are not familiar with me, this video is unplanned. As usual, I have something on my mind and I feel like these days my camera is, I like how I call my phone a camera. Yes. Yeah. And I'm not doing any naming and claiming nonsense, but yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about that. I've been in a slump, basically. Academic-wise, art-wise, just everything-wise, life-wise. And I feel like I am not motivated to do anything except read my Bible every day. Literally, everything else I have zero motivation for. And I found myself in a place where I'm only doing work because I have deadlines to meet, not because I'm enjoying it, which is usually the case, but solely because I want marks. Basically, whatever jumped is styrofoam. I was making a fake plant yesterday, which was due yesterday, and I used some styrofoam, so you might see the white particles jumping around. This room is a mess. I don't even have motivation to clean it, as much as I do need to clean it desperately. But yeah, I'm in a slump and I don't know what to do about it. I'm literally just waiting for motivation to come back, and as I wait, I am forcing myself to continue with stuff, with everything that I need to do. Should have made this part green, but it's okay. And now lay it all on your shoulders. I cast my cares, I will cast my cares, I will cast my cares on you. Cast my cares, I will cast my cares, I will cast my cares on you. I will cast my cares on you. Back when I used to listen to radio. Cast my cares, I will cast my cares, I will. So yeah, what I wanted to share in this video is the fact that in as much as a lot of times you may not have the motivation, the psyche, the zeal to do what you must do, that doesn't change the fact that it must be done. So you have to get up and do it. And that's on what? Period. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. The most obvious advice that I could give. But no, on the real though, you won't always be motivated to do things. But that doesn't mean that doesn't make it an excuse for you to not deliver. You get me? So even if it means forcing yourself to do something, if it means getting, somebody to hold you accountable when it comes to what you need to deliver, do that. I don't have that right now, just because, again, we go back to something I talked about in one of my IGTV videos, my struggle with asking for assistance and like delegating. It's a problem. It's a big problem. And I'm realizing that even as I speak, like I could literally ask. There's so many people I could ask to keep me accountable. I just choose not to, because I'm like, I got this. I always got this all by myself, and Jesus, And even this whole thing of being in a slump, like, as I talk about it now, I'm like, why haven't I told God about this? Like, I mean, yeah, he's aware, but like, converse with your father. Converse with your father. Sometimes it's literally all you need to do. And as I was saying that, sometimes you won't always feel like doing something, but that doesn't change the fact that you still have to do it. There's a verse in Jeremiah that tells us the heart is deceitful above all things. So, your heart pretty much drives your emotions. So, like, your feelings, in other words, are very deceitful. So, yeah, I may not feel like waking up today, but if I don't wake up today, I end up slacking and not completing what I was to complete, and then I suffer the consequences because I allowed my feelings, I allowed my heart to deceive me. A lot of times we end up in situations that we don't like because we allowed our hearts to lead. Woo, boy, have I been in those a lot. But life is a whole learning curve on its own. So we move, and we're allowed to make mistakes, which is beautiful. God gives us the room to make mistakes, which is beautiful. And when our mistakes lead us to points where we can't get ourselves out of the ruts we've gotten ourselves into, he's always there to save the day. In as much as we're the ones who made our situations complex, because it's not like he's gonna force us to do anything, really. Cast my cares, I will. Cast my cares, I will. So I have tons of assignments piled up. Wednesday, I was doing an assignment that was due that Wednesday. I started it 2 hours before the typical deadline. Thursday, oh goodness. Thursday, I was finishing an assignment that I have had for 3 weeks. There is no reasonable explanation as to why I've been doing that one assignment for 3 weeks, other than the fact that I have been dragging it along because I have not had the motivation to do anything except read my Bible. It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. It's easy, we can be. Whatever they said in that song. It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. After I'm done with this, I have like 3 or 4 more to complete. Thank God it's Easter weekend. He knew I needed a break. Like, I've just been saying, Aki, tufunge shule, Aki, twende holiday, nini. And then Mr. President introduces a lockdown, and having thought about all the exclamations I made concerning a holiday, I'm just like, they're suspicious. The lockdown is suddenly suspicious. I don't even know if that statement right there made sense, but we move. This looks pretty nice. I feel like I've also really been pressuring myself to deliver a certain quality of work, which takes time. Or I feel like all the work that I do takes time, which is why I end up with the amazing results I usually end up with. And I've been comparing myself with people a lot of late, and I'm like, what is this you're doing, Melissa? Stop it. And I feel like that has contributed to my lack of motivation, just adding on to my current burnout. But that comparison has also contributed a lot to it, because I'm looking at other people's work and I am visualizing mine in my head, because I am behind, which isn't usually the case, but I've been behind in a lot of things of late. It's the hard knock life for us. I honestly feel like I can leave that like that. Like, it looks really nice and simple. I've been very into this childish style of painting of late. Reminds me of Picasso's work as he was heading towards the end of his life. It became extremely childish, or what we would consider childish according to our human standards. Probably wasn't actually childish, but was an art form. What I mean by childish is something you'd look at and you'd be like, this belongs in a children's storybook for like ages 2 to 5, But I really like that. And that's why I feel like I'm really enjoying color washing. It's so simple. Like, it's so nice. It's a hard knock life. Oh yeah, I was talking about the heart is deceitful above all things. So yeah, if we listened to our hearts 24/7, we would be a mess. We'd just be deceived 24/7. Oh, I feel like doing this, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I feel like I'm this, so that's exactly who I'm going to be. I feel like indulging in this, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. When really, you're killing yourself slowly. So in as much as I don't feel like working and doing the things I must do, I must come to the realization that my feelings don't always matter. Honestly, my feelings sometimes are invalid and are distractions. And that's something I think we all need to come to terms with. Your feelings aren't always what you should follow. I'm not dismissing following your heart or anything like that, but like, if that's what is constantly driving you, then there's a problem. You're probably deceived a lot of times. Shade. Shade, shade, shade. too much white, unnecessary white. So yeah, when I must get up, even when I don't feel like doing it, I must get up. When I must rest, even when I don't feel like doing it, I must rest. There's a time and a season for everything. In the wise words of King Solomon. Funny thing that I was thinking of as I was reading Songs of Solomon, and also as I was reading the Psalms, is we respect biblical characters like David and King Solomon so much, and it's like we forget the fact that they were sinners just like we all are. But if you think about it in a way of, if King David and King Solomon lived on the earth today, we would all probably despise them because of their ways, right? It's no secret that they had lots of girlfriends, lots of concubines, lots of wives, and they just couldn't control themselves down there. So, I mean, how else do you explain? And I'm not judging King David here. I've talked about my struggles with lust on this channel before. So, but like, how else do you explain somebody chilling on their rooftop and seeing somebody bathing and then giving out an order to have that person bathing sent to them so that he can do whatever he wants because he's king? Such behavior, David would be cancelled today. But we respect him so much. A man after God's own heart, you know, and we talk about him, and so many of us want to be like David. You know, we honor King Solomon because of his wisdom, his wealth, you know. But if these guys lived today and behaved the same exact way, they would be cancelled like nobody's business. So it's just a thing of, we despise so many people today and we cancel so many people today. But we, in our hypocritical natures, revere other people who are literally exactly the same as the people we cancel, simply because we haven't had direct relations. I should know, direct interactions with the ones whom we revere, but we've had direct interactions with the ones we cancel. I say direct in quotes because some majority of people we cancel, we've never even met. We don't even live in the same countries. But just food for thought. It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Said it easy, we can be. What would I title this video? First of all, I hope the camera is facing me. I would title this video something like left the camera on while I was painting. Something like that. Something like that. It's a hard knock life. Not to throw shade or anything, but I was watching a certain Kenyan YouTuber, this morning because the title of her video was particularly interesting. She was talking about a place in Nairobi, and halfway through that video, I was like, A, why am I listening to this person? And B, how does this person have a platform? Like a large platform with an actual impressionable audience. Because the things she was saying were complete nonsense. And I was like, there's actually people listening to this person and taking her advice. And I was like, this is where the world has gotten to. But then again, I realized something that I've been realizing a lot of late, because I tend to be very cautious with like how I behave in public and stuff like that, just because I understand who I am representing on this earth, and I understand that some people have their eyes on me, and I'm expected to behave a certain way because of the calling that I have accepted. Yeah? Where was I going with this? But one thing I'm also learning is I'm not responsible for the reactions that people have from my actions. You get me? But how do I explain this? The mere fact that I am a representative of Christ means I behave a certain way. I don't indulge in certain things, certain behaviors, right? So, but I also have begun to understand that some people will react a certain way to the things that I do, regardless of how I do. Like, people will conclude what they want to conclude. People will react how they want to react, which is why this whole thing that we've pushed for so many years, where, you know how people misuse the Bible verse, you should be your brother's keeper, and use that to shame girls into, dressing a certain way, or to feel bad about wearing certain things. When in my opinion, how a person decides to dress or adorn the temple of the Lord is a personal conviction that varies from person to person. There's no set standard. You should be covering your head, you should be wearing skirts only, you should be blah blah blah. Even though I agree there are some people who have received conviction from God to dress in specific ways, but I will say there is no set biblical standard as to how we should dress. And please don't bring me stuff that is in the law, because Jesus Christ fulfilled the law and we are no longer bound under the law. Okay, so yeah, that goes to that guy who told me to stop wearing trousers in my videos. I'm like, I've talked about so many important things in this video that you are supposed to be taking away, but you're so distracted by the fact that I'm wearing trousers because you're such a legalist. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. But yeah, that's also one thing. I was watching a certain he's not a pastor, let me call him a minister. I was watching a certain minister from our church the other day, and his family has been involved in a recent scandal, if I can call it that. And I remember putting on the service and just praying that myself and other people do not get distracted by the fact that this is the guy who is involved with this scandal. So I prayed when I realized he was the one preaching, I, made a quick prayer to God, and I was like, God, please don't let guys get distracted by the fact that he's involved in this scandal, but let them actually pay attention to the word that you have given him to give to us, as your servant. And I prayed that for myself and for, everybody else who was watching that service or listening in church. And his word was so powerful, so timely, and I learned so much from it, and I got so convicted from his teaching that day. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, because so many times we can get distracted by the things that people do in their lives that we miss the blessings that they are to bring in our lives. Excuse me, can you quote me on that? Saying some profound things right here. But yeah, so yeah, I feel like in as much as there are some things that I might do that might bother you, please don't let that ever distract you from seeing anything that God is using me for, especially if it is something that can benefit you. I'm not saying, if somebody is like intentionally sinning and like overlooking the will of God and is taking advantage of the grace of God, that we ignore it and we're like, I have no right to judge, blah, 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 blah. Don't be foolish. Don't be foolish. That's all I'm saying. Don't be foolish. The Bible tells us to be as shrewd as serpents and as innocent as doves. Okay? Okay? Okay. Kind of want to make this side like that turquoise. This thing is so pretty. Thank you, Nishant, for your ideas. But how am I gonna blend though? But yeah, there's a reason why I said all of that. Oh yeah, I was talking about that legalist guy who came to my video and was like, you should stop wearing trousers. And I was like, oh my gosh. I've educated you so much in this video, but all you could see were my trousers. I guess that's how the spirit of religion has operated. Because legalism does come from there. You're so obsessed with specific ways you think we should all look that you're missing the point. And I do believe, yes, there are standards. I hope the camera didn't catch that. Yes, there are standards, but like, don't be distracted from the actual thing. You get me? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. But yeah, I was talking about how a lot of times people misuse the verse, or we should be your brother's keeper, to shame girls into dressing a certain way, or to make excuses as to why somebody was sexually harassed or, sadly raped. And guys, the first questions people ask is, oh, what was she wearing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, if, there's like, you could wear anything and still like be sexually harassed, still be raped. I mean, you think Muslim girls don't get raped? Even in their whole black buis with only their eyes out. Still happens. And some people intentionally take advantage of Muslim women because of the way they dress, which is so disgusting. Like, why? Like, literally, some people are like, who do you think you are? Why you dressed like that? And I'm like, damn, show some respect. That's all we ask. It's 'cause you're working on me. Also, can we talk about how people really evolve? Because there's a point I was making with that point and imeenda tu kabisa kabisa. People really do evolve as you spend more time with Jesus. You really do evolve. Me, a month ago, is not me today. Literally, just a month ago. Because of the transformation that continuously happens as a result of my relationship with Christ. It's because you're working on me. Oh, 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 I know you're working on me. And even though I fall, I'll keep listening to your calls, because you're working on me. It's because you're working on me. So yeah, back to the beginning of this video. I am not motivated to do a lot of what I have to do, but I'm still doing it. Because of that mere fact, it is what I have to do. I hope that encourages you to get up and work, because you have to, sis. You gotta get those coins. You gotta secure that bag. Got to get those grades. There's too much to do for you to be sitting and sulking, waiting for motivation to strike you. Because a lot of times, motivation strikes you when you've actually started working. It doesn't just fall from the sky. It really doesn't. I wish it did.